friends, all throughout the month of January, I shared with you my complete candle collection, and I teased this video in my empties video that went up earlier this week. But basically, this video is the culmination of that 2024 candle collection series, but it is also the debut, I guess I would say, of a new monthly series that I am going to have on my channel. And what the gist of this video is, essentially, I am going to be accountable to all of you every month by sharing with you the total amount of candles that I have in my collection. Now, that does not mean that I am going to go ahead and turn around the camera and show you all of the candles again. No, that's not what I am doing. What I am planning to do is I am going to share with you the total number of candles that I have in my collection. So today's video, we'll just put it this way. All of those candles that I showed you throughout the month, I'm going to give you the total number that I have in my collection. Then I'm going to share with you candles that I purchased this month. A couple of these candles I did have dedicated videos on, so I'm going to kind of speed through that portion. I'm also going to share with you candles that I decluttered, and then we're also going to just throw in the number of empties. Now that video is still going to remain a standalone video because I do believe that that video specifically serves a purpose, and I think that a lot of people sometimes they just might not want to see this video, they might just want to see what the empties were. So I hope you guys enjoy this video. If you like the idea of this video, please hit the thumbs up button because that will let me know that you guys like this. I was really inspired just to take inventory of my collection this year. I know that a lot of people have a much larger collection than I do. Some people have a much smaller collection than I do. And the thing that I want to say in this video is that if you fall on either ends of those spectrum, as long as you are content with the number of candles that you have, you're not finding yourself in financial dire straits because of your candle addiction. Let's just call it what it is, right? I'm right here with you. I'm not pointing fingers at you. I am one of you, right? But for a lot of us, I think we're just looking for maybe some, I don't want to use the word accountability because it makes it sound like it's a problem. But I think, if we're trying to stay on budget or we're wanting to prioritize just being grateful for what we have or contentment, then I hope that this video will inspire you to keep it up longer than the month of January. And quite frankly, it helps me keep it up longer than the month of January. All right, this introduction is getting too long. A warm welcome to any new viewers. I'm Katie. I like to talk about candles here on my channel, empties, dedicated reviews, a bi-monthly candle chit chat, and hauls and everything in between. So if you like to stick around for content like that, please make sure you hit that subscribe button before you get on out of here. But let's go ahead and start off with the candles that I brought into my collection this month. So, well, let me start off with letting you know how many candles I had at the end of filming that entire collection. I counted up all of my backups, all of the candles that I showed you in that collection. My grand total was 105 candles, which some of you are like, wow, Katie, that's a lot of candles. And some of you are like, oh, that's a pretty reasonable number. Like I said, you might fall somewhere on the spectrum. So let's go ahead now and talk about the candles that I brought into my collection. So I'm going to go ahead and start out with Bath & Body Works. I'm sorry, I feel like I have a hair or something right there. The hair is hairing today. I've got to go teach ballet this afternoon. So we're on day 4 hair, but I don't want to wash it before class. Oh well, you guys don't care about that. But all right, let's get back on track. I did do a dedicated video on this. These are the Bath & Body Works candles that I brought into my collection. So I'm gonna kind of speed through these. None of you guys were probably surprised to see that I purchased Pink Lavender and Espresso. This is one of my favorite candles that was released in 2023 at Bath & Body Works. So I definitely wanted another one of these. And spoiler alert, I'm actually contemplating exchanging a couple of other Bath & Body Works Bath & Body Works candles that I picked up on Candle Day. I'm thinking about taking those in to exchange them for another one of these and another one of the other candles that I'm going to show you because I love them that much. Another candle that I purchased was Vanilla Bean. Now I have burned this one a little bit so far. This is just kind of their standard Bath & Body Works marshmallow type of fragrance, like a marshmallow vanilla type of scent. It's a beautiful fragrance. I actually love this vanilla. But what I will tell you is that this one does have those really slow burning, low flame wicks. But still, I'm glad that I have it. I'm still gonna continue to burn it, but I wouldn't be surprised to see myself eventually stick that candle into a candle crock. Another candle that I purchased in that haul was the Sweet Orange and Agave, and I have not burned this one yet. You'll see that the wicks are still intact. This is a candle that I actually probably see myself starting to burn maybe later on in February, maybe early March. That's when I tend to get into citrus scents. I will tell you, on Cold Sniff, I wouldn't say that it's a repackage, but it reminds me an awful lot of Sun-Washed Citrus. So that's kind of where I'm coming from with that one. All right, and then these two Bath & Body Works candles, I have already done dedicated reviews on, so if you want to check that out in the description box down below, I will have those linked. This is Almond Croissant, a lovely, savory, it's a good candle. Bath & Body Works did a good job on this one. Spoiler alert, right? Probably not my favorite like almond scented candle, but it's still very nice for what it is. And then the other candle that I've already done a dedicated review on and is new and part of the Spring 1 lineup is Hummingbird Tea Cake. And yes, I love this one. This is the other fragrance that I'm actually contemplating taking, exchanging some current candles for, but I'll keep you guys posted to let you know if I actually do that. This one reminds me quite a bit of the Somebody Loves You, the Spice Cake Accord in there. And it's so funny because I've actually seen my friends Connor and Fiona both say that they pick up banana in this fragrance. And it's funny, I didn't think of it as banana, but now that I'm smelling it again, I don't really smell banana when I'm burning it, but on Cold Sniff now I'm like, okay, I can see where they get banana, but it's not super pineapple-y to me, but check out my dedicated review on that. And then one other Bath & Body Works candle that I think I mentioned at some point in the collection, I mentioned it, but this one was not in my collection at the time that I filmed that video of the Bath & Body Works collection, the candle Winter. So this candle was supposed to be delivered to me soon. I purchased it actually the day after Christmas during SAS, and Bath & Body Works accidentally sent me the Perfect Christmas instead of this candle. So they just said, well, we'll go ahead and send this one out to you because it was in stock. We all know what winter smells like. But I love this fragrance in the month of January. I love pairing it particularly with like orange pomander type of fragrances. I've probably got, I'm a little over halfway down on the burn on this one. I'm probably planning to finish burning that one up this week because I really don't want this fragrance lingering into the month of February. If you are new here, I am a seasonal burner. So yeah, there's just certain fragrances that I'm like, okay, no more. We're done with that for this time of the year. All right, and another candle that you would have seen in another video that I posted was last weekend. I posted a video about the brand Vacation, and they had this trio set of candles, and I would encourage you to go over and watch that video if you didn't see it. But I will say that my favorite fragrance in that trio of candles is Pool Boy. Now, this is a candle that I likely will not be burning until the summertime. Probably late May, June, probably is when I see myself burning it. If you didn't catch that video, this is what the packaging looks like. It's very sleek. It reminds you of just like a little, like sipping on a drink. You know, we've got a single wick here. I believe that this is a blend of like a coconut and soy wax. I love this candle. Now, I grew up in Southern California. I'm a beach girl at heart, and this candle to me, it's funny that it says Pool Boy, and I think it's because it reminds me of sunscreen. So if you don't like sunscreen smells, you probably won't like this. But yeah, it just gives me like all of those 90s sunscreen type of vibes, and I am here for it. Absolutely love it. I do hope to pick up the Vacation. They just have a candle called Vacation, and I think it's supposed to be the same fragrance that they have in their perfume and whatnot. But really like that fragrance. All right, let me share with you a couple of candles that you haven't seen. Now, these are candles that I kind of picked up here and there. Like one of these candles is from Kringle. A couple of these I picked up at Marshall's or Ulta or whatnot. So we're gonna go ahead and get into that. So let's talk about the Kringle candle that I purchased this month. It was from their new Reserve launch. I was a good girl and I only limited myself to one candle to purchase from Kringle Candle, because that's another thing. I have a candle budget this month, and so it's really caused me to reevaluate the purchases or really think clearly about what I want. And the candle that I purchased is sprinkled macaroons, which I would call macarons. Now, I will do a dedicated review on this candle if you guys would like me to. I do know that it is currently out of stock, much to a lot of people's chagrin. Okay, so here's the thing with this candle. I've seen a couple of other people say this. I know a lot of people love this fragrance. To me, this is Marshmallow Morning on steroids. This is just a more intense version of Marshmallow Morning. So if you missed out on purchasing this candle, I would say if you want to know what it smells like, I think it's Marshmallow Morning, just intensified. Don't come for me, but that's really what I think it is. It is a nice fragrance. It's, you get the vanilla, you get the creaminess. I don't detect like an almond note or anything in here. I don't know. There is like a richness and a density to it, but I'm telling you, it's very, very similar to Marshmallow Morning. I feel like it's like the sophisticated older sister to that candle. So if you missed out on it, I don't want to say that like you missed out on anything super, super unique. Don't come for me. All right, another candle that I purchased at, what was this? Marshall's. And I'm actually contemplating, like, I was like, should I include this one? Should I not? But I was like, no, it technically is part of my candle collection. Now, this is Nest New York. This is part of their Wilderness collection, and this is the candle Charcoal Woods. Now, I did kind of like a first sniff review on this. Gosh, it was almost 2 years ago that this candle came out, and I saw it on clearance for $16 at Marshall's. And the reason I purchased it is because I have a girlfriend who really loves fragrances like this. And I thought, well, I will just gift this to her for her birthday in a couple of months. Yeah, this is nice. It's very traditionally masculine fragrance, but it doesn't remind me of cologne. It's resinous, slightly smoky and earthy. If you like kind of like Palo Santo scents, if you like those woody kind of deep mysterious scents, I would even say if you're somebody who likes like the I don't want to say the dirtiness, but kind of the earthiness of Halloween fragrances, I think that you would really like this candle. And this one, my Marshall's, Home Goods, TJ Maxx, they have a bunch of these on clearance. In fact, I even saw, and it's funny, each store has them at different price points. So Marshall's has this for 16, but then I saw it for 12 at TJ Maxx. I really like that fragrance. It's just kind of, again, another year-round fragrance that I personally would burn on like a rainy day or in the evening because I just really like that fragrance. But again, I plan on possibly gifting that one, so I'll keep you guys updated as to what I do. Let's go ahead and talk about 2 new Yankee candles that I added to my collection. So last week, they launched their new 3-wick format. And I was able to purchase 2 candles. They did get to me before the filming of this video. So the first candle that I purchased is Desert Blooms. And I will go ahead and open this up and let you see the 3 wicks in here. The wicks right now, they look like they're those pretty thick wicks, kind of like the ones Bath & Body Works do. And in fact, now that I'm looking at it, this one looks like the wick is really, really short. I don't know about that. All right. Let's talk about the fragrance on this Desert Blooms. So I went ahead and took down notes before I started filming. Yay, I'm getting on top of things. All right, so Yankee Desert Blooms, the fragrance notes are top notes of sparkling bergamot, cypress, saguaro cactus. Yes, I live in Arizona. That word is pronounced saguaro. Mid notes of rose petals, vetiver, dried sage, and base notes of driftwood, musk, and aldehydes. So it's funny because, again, like, I really like the packaging on this, by the way. I know that this could be like Utah or Northern Arizona. I will tell you that I should be familiar with Desert Blooms, right? I live in Arizona. I can see where they're coming from with this. It's funny, when I smelled this initially, I was kind of like, ooh, that kind of has like an oudy smell to it. Like if you like the fragrance note of oud in a fragrance, I think that you would like this because I think it's the aldehydes and kind of like driftwood. It is kind of musky. You can definitely smell those base notes in there. I wouldn't say that this is like an overly floral fragrance. Like there's no, like I don't detect rose petals in here. But there's a greenery to it, but it's very earthy. But like oud is the first thing that kind of like comes to my mind, even though that is not listed in here. I think that's the aldehydes. It's a nice fragrance, to be 100% honest with you. I'm not sure if I want to keep this one or if I want to go and exchange it, because there are 2 other fragrances available in this 3-wick format that I know that I love, but they're more like summertime fragrances. And I was trying to purchase 2 more like candles that I would burn in the springtime so I could get some reviews out for you. But I'm not sure that I love this fragrance enough to want to keep it. The other 2 fragrances that appeal to me in this 3-wick lineup, like this initial launch, are Pink Sands and oh, what's the other one? It's off the top of my head. Coconut Beach. Those are the other 2 that I really like from Yankee. So I might exchange this one. I will keep you guys posted on that. But then the other fragrance that I picked up, because I tend to like this, like if there's a floral that I love, it's this Lilac Blossoms. So the fragrance notes on Lilac Blossoms are dewy greens, water lily, bergamot, mid notes of lilac petals, hyacinth, tulip bulbs, base notes of cedar leaf, vetiver, and moss. So this is definitely like a lilac fragrance, but what I will say, this is not my ultimate lilac fragrance. Is Kringle's Fresh Lilac. That is the most authentic, like we just cut some lilacs off of a bush and placed them in the vase in our home, and my whole home is gonna smell like lilacs. That is the most authentic lilac fragrance to my nose. This one, there's a little bit of powderiness to it. I actually see myself burning this with like a vanilla fragrance, maybe to tone down, because I don't really like when I detect a powdery note in a lot of florals. I think that's why I've kind of steered away from some florals in the past. But I like it enough to not return it. I like it enough that I'm curious about it, but it doesn't compare on cold to Fresh Lilac from Kringle. But again, I want to burn it in this 3-wick format, and I feel like this is a good one to go ahead and start with. And I'm probably going to bust that out and start burning it. I would say probably late February in Arizona. I mean, today I'm filming this and have my windows open because it's supposed to be like 74 degrees today. Not rubbing it in your face. We will have rain later on this week. But, you know, when the weather starts to act like spring, then I start burning spring-like candles. All right, and then I have 2 more candles from HOMEWORX that I purchased kind of randomly. The first one here is Citrus and Spruce, and I got this on clearance for $8.50 at TJ Maxx. So the fragrance notes on Citrus and Spruce are fresh pine, orange citrus, vetiver, and oak moss. And this one I decided I'm gonna go ahead and just save for probably next January. This is nice. This is, I feel like this is a really nice fragrance that I could burn in that week between Christmas and New Year's, because I detect a little bit of the orange, but there's still definitely like a Christmas tree note to this. That's spruce, which is funny. I don't normally like spruce trees, like spruce tree notes. It's a little light on cold, which is why I thought, well, I'll let it sit for a year, because HOMEWORX, of all of the brands, when I let them sit for a longer period of time, I do find that I get increased strength and throw. And then the other HOMEWORX candle that I purchased this month, nobody's going to be surprised by this. Fun little spoiler alert, I have a video coming up later on this week talking all about gourmand fragrances, and you may see this one make an appearance. So this is HOMEWORX Birthday Cake. Now, I already had one of these in my collection. However, I happened to pop into my local Ulta, and I happened to see this candle was on sale for $21 in store. I also had some Ulta points, so I went ahead and redeemed it to get this candle because I love this fragrance. The fragrance notes are vanilla cake, whipped cream, caramelized sugars, and happy wishes. This fragrance to me is like, it is the most authentic white cake. It smells like you are baking a funfetti cake in your kitchen. It does capture a little bit of the frosting, like the sweetness of frosting, but it's not overly cloying. It's perfectly balanced with the like, I'm baking a cake smell. Oh, it's so, so good. I love this one. So I'm really glad to have another one of these in my collection, because 2 of my daughters have birthdays in February, so this tends to be the month that I will burn birthday cake. All right, so if you were keeping track there, the total amount of candles that I purchased in the month of January is 14. So we had that 105. We're going to add 14 candles to that. And so let me see, let's math. I believe that that would be a total of 119 candles. The math has to math, right? All right, let me go over with you a couple of candles that I decluttered from my collection. So if you love some of these candles, don't take any offense. It was just time for them to make their way out of my collection, and I'll share with you why. All right, the first candle is Kringle's Spellbound. Now that candle was actually sent to me in PR when I first became a Kringle ambassador, and I'm really thankful to them for that. That candle smells a lot like Victoria's Secret Love Spell. If you're familiar with that fragrance, I remember it from the early 2000s. I believe it might possibly still be around. I don't ever really go into Victoria's Secret, but it was too strong for me, too sweet. It was just too much. Like, I burned it a couple of times and I was like, no, this one is just not for me. What I do with a lot of my decluttered candles, you guys might giggle and laugh about this. I actually bring my candles I go to Bible study on Tuesday night and I bring them to the ladies at Bible study and they always love it. They're like, sure, we'll sniff through, and they all find new homes that way. And truthfully, I actually think it's okay to declutter candles like that because I have actually introduced a lot of people to brands like Kringle and HOMEWORX. You know, most casual candle fans are familiar with brands like Yankee and Bath & Body Works, but some of the, HOMEWORX is starting to become more available in stores, but like Kringle is only an online thing, and I feel like it's only something people in the candle community really know about. They're working on, getting their name out there more, but anyways, when I declutter candles, I'm introducing other people to the brand. So why not, right? So Spellbound went out of my collection. Another Kringle candle that made its way out the door was Dark as Night. I kind of hinted in my candle collection video that I also didn't really care for that one. It was very heavy and perfumey for me. It was just too much. And so that one found another home. Some of you guys are gonna be like, what? When I tell you that I decluttered a Kringle Reserve candle. Well, Darkest Night was a Reserve candle too, but I decluttered Sinful. I know, I'm sorry. The reason I decluttered that one was, I don't know, I was over it. I don't know why. For some reason, it wasn't giving me the strength and the output that I wanted from it. I did do my dedicated review on it, but there was just something after a while that I was like, I don't really think this is my favorite chocolate scent. And I know enough people who really do like that. In fact, the woman who took it from me, or that it went to her home, she is currently about 9 months pregnant, and she was like, this smells so good to me right now. So I was happy to see it find a home to somebody who was like, oh, I'm really excited about this. But I did declutter Sinful. And then 2 Bath & Body Works candles that I decluttered were Hot Cocoa and Cream. I think I have just come to the point of acknowledging that I don't think Bath & Body Works chocolate fragrances are my favorite. They are very synthetic to me, which again, that's not a bad thing. Some people really, really like that. I think most Bath & Body Works fragrances fall into that category, but their chocolate just doesn't hit right for me. I feel like Kringle does chocolate really well. Harry Slatkin does chocolate really well in his HOMEWORX candles, but Bath & Body Works just doesn't cut it for me with chocolate fragrances. And then the other candle was Crunchy English Toffee, which is kind of sad because I really liked that one on cold sniff. But as it was burning, there were just some I don't know, I noticed some weird things happening with it after the halfway point of the burn, mainly that it smelled burned to me. So that one I went ahead and passed on to another home. So we're keeping tally here. I was at 119 candles. I decluttered 5 candles. So now we're down to 114 candles in my collection. And then if you caught my empties video the other day, I had a total of 12 empties from that video. However, I am only going to deduct 10 from that 114 because 2 of those candles were already empty before I did my candle collection videos. So because they weren't included in that initial collection video, I didn't feel like it was right to include it in this number. So if you're keeping track, if you're doing all the math with me, as of today, I have 104 candles in my collection. Woohoo! I netted a loss of 1 candle out of my collection in the month of January. What can I say? I mean, yes, I do have my channel here, but I think my goal, if I wanted to be realistic, is that I ideally, I think would like to get that collection under 75 this year. Again, I have a YouTube channel, so sometimes I have to, I do have to bring in new candles. I might get said PR. By the way, none of the candles that I showed you today were like the ones that came into my collection this month. None of them were PR, which is totally fine with me, but I will always be honest with you if I do receive a candle in PR. But yeah, so I'm at 104 candles, and I will say I have, let me count in my head here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 5 candles on their way to me right now, but because I haven't smelled them yet, they aren't actually officially in my collection until we're done with that. So, or until like I see them and smell them. My viewfinder is telling me that my camera has low battery. Sorry, that distracted me a little bit. So yes, I do have one of the new country candle releases coming to me. I did do a video last week kind of previewing those candles, so I will share with you what candle I did end up purchasing. I did end up getting Sunset Beach. And then I did purchase 3 new HOMEWORX candles. One of them is a duo from QVC, and then the other 2 is a returning favorite, another favorite. Like I have actually been sending DMs to HOMEWORX on Instagram saying, please bring that fragrance back. So not that they listen to me, but I think they listen to a lot of us, and they brought back a fragrance that I have loved. And then there was also a new fragrance that intrigued me. So those are not here yet, unfortunately, so I couldn't include them in this video, but they will be included in the February edition of this video. So let me know in the comments down below. Do you guys like this? Do you feel like you're inspired now to really take stock of your candle collection? Maybe be inspired to burn up new things, maybe be more intentional about what you're bringing in, maybe feel inspired to share some of your candles with a friend. Just let me know in the comments down below. I want to say thank you so very, very much for spending your time here with me today. And until my next one, I hope you all go out and have a very blessed day. Bye.